Hello, we're at the what could be the oldest yew tree in Essex. This tree, situated Great Bursted, the Church of St Mary Magdalene. This tree either falls into two categories. It's either a veteran, which is 500 years old, or above that goes into an ancient. It is registered with the local council with special interest because of its age, and it's also registered with the Ancient YewTree Organisation of UK. It is possible that this tree is up to, or even over 1,000 years old. You can tell they're ancient or extremely old as a veteran by the fact that they hollow out, like this one. Initially I thought it had been felled, but it actually is a natural process for this tree. So what happens is the limbs, they split, and all the debris, like this wood that rots, some of it decays, it'll fall into there with the needles, and that will give, as I understand it, like nutrients for the tree. Now, a long time ago, this natural process where it would split and lean over, it was people would prop the branches up, originally in wood, but in modern times they've used steel props, and these steel props, fine example, holding up limbs or the branches. You can see all the different colours, all the different generations have painted it. You can see up there some support. I think there's a total of 7. There's another one there, the tree's actually growing into it, around it. And I think the one up here is bolted. Yeah, there's 2 out there bolted actually. Now, from my understanding, if you didn't do that, then the limbs, branches, basically go into the ground, like they're trying to here. And then they would possibly send a new shoot coming up. And you would get a new yew tree coming up here, over there. And that's, I think, is how you get a ring of yew trees. So with these chains, which are quite interesting themselves, it looks like people of generations have attempted to hold up the branches with the chains. And you see the age of that, it's weathered, incredibly old. Padlock's not, that chain is. And it's actually grown, focus that for a minute, it's actually grown into the tree. It looks like a massive limb's been cut off here. Looks like a nest in there actually. Then you've got people putting padlocks and things on it, on the old chains. It's all various padlocks. There's another one up here. So, I mean, they're really quite special trees, I think. This has had quite a lot of work done on it over the years. You can see bits cut off of it. I mean, I did read that yew trees go back a long way with man. I think I read 400,000 years. They found a spearhead made out of a yew. The wood's incredibly hard, and every part of the yew is poisonous. So that includes the needles, the wood, the bark, etc. The berries, it's not advisable to eat them, but it's said that you can eat the fleshy part, but not the centre stone, which is poisonous. In the summertime, yew trees give off a gas which is said to give hallucinations. So people have been said to sleep under yew trees, get visions, I guess. Again, not advisable. You can see the height of it. I mean, there's the church. The church dates back to 12th century Norman. Come back. So this church is an incredibly old church. It's sited on a Saxon church that was established by St Cedd around 600 AD. There was a cross that was placed here by St Cedd. It came initially from Lindisfarne, Northumberland. And I did read in a book that the original Saxon church was stone and not wooden, quite small in size. And it's possible that this yew tree could have been planted then. Who knows? Like I say, these trees date back a long way with human history, going from the Druids, Celts, Romans, Saxons, Normans. They've been used over the years for various things. The wood probably most famously has been used in Agincourt for the bowmen of Henry V, in France, and the 100 Years' War, and also many other wars. Some of the things that yew was used for: priests waiting for burial parties would wait underneath yew trees. So you can imagine that the priests and the clerks would be waiting under this very tree. I did read that, I think it was in Ireland, they'd make a stave, it's like a long pole out of the yew tree, and that would be used for measuring graves, etc. Druids, I believe they saw it as a magic with powers or something to do with the centre of it. Vikings, they also recognised its importance because it lived so long. Yew trees can go red and almost like bleed, and I believe there was some sort of cult with the Vikings associated with that. So lots of people, lots of generations have been interested in it. For me, it's just an old, very old tree. I'm more interested in the history that the tree's witnessed. The Romans, I believe, in the Roman period of England, one of the first saints planted yew trees. Some of the other facts: Saxons would plant yew trees on the corner of the church to anchor it down. So if this tree is around about 500 years, it has seen a lot of history, and it's highly likely, so you've got a small doorway there, this could be one of the original entrances. This is 15th century, so it is likely that the pilgrims who sailed on the Mayflower would have possibly sat around this tree, or definitely would have known of its existence. Maybe they waited under here on a hot summer's day. So we've got Christopher Martin, Mary Power, their son Solomon Power, and their servant John Langmore. If we come forward a bit, we've got Dick Turpin. Dick Turpin was said to be familiar with these roads, and he rode into Downham, which is only a couple of miles from Billericay. So we're literally a mile and a half from Billericay, so it's highly likely he would have known these lanes. So we've got pilgrims, we've got highwaymen. If we're going back to more ancient history, we would have Peasants' Revolt, 1380s. Wat Tyler. Now this church was a burial for a lot of the Essex men that fought in London and ultimately died in Norsey Woods, in the Battle of Norsey Wood. I read also that they were executed in Billericay, where the memorial is now. A lot of them met their fate. The Essex leaders would have been buried in this cemetery along with the majority of those men, which was 500. We've got so much history, it's ridiculous. We've got Mary Queen of Scots, Bloody Mary. There was 5 martyrs, sorry. One was killed, executed in Chelmsford, the others in Smithfield and Newgate Prison, so it's whether they were brought here to burial, I'm not sure. Recent wars, World War One. Yeah, Zeppelin 1916, which would have flown over here, more or less, not directly over this tree, but in that direction over there. It crashed probably about a mile away, so it would have passed this direction. His crew members are buried down there, and then they were moved to Staffordshire 1966. World War II, I believe that this church received some damage from Luftwaffe, dropped a bomb, and I've got a feeling it might be on this side and damaged these windows, and would have damaged this tree actually. This don't know what you call this, it's coffin, is it? But this black burn marks across here, on this side, on this side, on this side, but not on this side. And also here, if you look, you can see discoloration, burn marks here, all up here. You can see it's taken a burn flash of some sort. You can see it. Stand back a bit. Whether that's from that, I'm not sure. So yeah, so let's hope the old tree lasts another 1,000 years or 700 years or whatever it is. When the COVID restrictions are lifted, come visit this church. It's a lovely old church. A lot of history. Maybe do a bit of research before you come down, so you've got an idea of what the history of it is or was. And yeah, come down.